no natural dialogue, whatever. Now I'm having segues. So yeah, episode 40. So hey, why
does to deal with Tomoki's bully problem?
I was going to ask, why does Vemon using the Digi-Egg of Hope somehow create a form that's a combination of the Digi-Eggs of Courage and Friendship?
Beats me. Also, I knew there was something that looked familiar about what a Sagittarius one or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I was like, why does it look familiar? What's up with that?
Yeah, because he's literally like this. I feel like this is what a Vemon armor form should look like. It's like, okay, this is clearly like a Vemon evolution that's just wearing the parts, right? I don't know why it's the Digi-Egg of Hope that gives this result and not a combination of the other two Digi-Eggs, but sure, why not? It's very weird. Vemon basically just kind of becomes a centaur with like a bow and arrow, but he still has like Flamedramon's arms and Rhydramon's head and legs.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I really wish they'd have the arms make more sense too. Yeah, because it's like you look at Vemon's forms, and it's like, okay, X Vemon makes sense, Flamedramon makes sense, Raydramon sure, Magnamon of course, yeah, this makes perfect sense. Gargoylemon and Honeybeemon, what? The frig is the kangaroo with the boxing gloves? How does... Okay. Like, there's no consistent... It feels like they just came up with a bunch of character designs, and they're like, okay, well, what form do we make this? And then Sola's like, no, man, just armor form and just tie it to one of the Digimon. No, Vemon's missing a few. Let's just throw it in there. Just sort of like put the Digi-Egg of Knowledge crest on and call it a day. Like, even Shadramon feels... Well, actually... Well, no, Shadramon does make sense, because it's a Wormmon form using the Digi-Egg of Courage. Yeah. Yeah, that completely makes sense. It's like a weird little barfly with the firearms. Well, as in, like, arms with fire patterns, not literal, like, you know... I have to be specific because it's Digimon. Yeah. Because it's Digimon, that's very much a possibility. That's exactly what happened. We need more forms for all the crests. Jeez. Isn't one of them like a sunfish or something? And it's like, I hate so much. It's so dumb. Not saying this is much smarter, but at least it's consistent. But yeah. So freaking, like, Sagittariusmon just shows up and he's like, oh, I'm a thief and I'm gonna rob you. And the kids are like, are you sure about that? And he's like, yes. And some our kids show up and they're like, oh, but wait a minute. We can save you. We've got an Angemon. Oh, look how cool Angemon is. And you know what? He was pretty rad.
This Angemon's pretty cool.
This is a pretty rad Angemon. I'll take consistency over the randomness. Yeah. Like, Angemon just shows up and he just knocks the bow out of this thing's hand. Which, fun fact, Kazakhed into this to make sure, yeah, this thing not only is it a Vemon form, because of course, but also the arrows are, like, tipped with freaking chrome Digizoid. So,
of course
yeah, they're, like, probably way stronger than you would expect them to be for a champion. Like, these things could legitimately, like, pierce armor. It's kind of nuts. Theoretically, at least.
So it's a good thing... it's a good thing that Angemon just is like, I'm just gonna knock the bow out of his hand.
The tips of these arrows are made with a metal that's stronger than any real-world material. That's canon. Where did the arrows come from? No idea. I guess he just makes them. He just, just holds his hand out and he just forms them with energy or something, or they just replenish overnight, you know. I'm just gonna assume, for lack of a better explanation, that he just falls asleep and then new arrows just sort of like grow out of the quiver and like they just don't worry about it. They just come back on a short rest. Wills them into existence. Yeah, exactly. Because Digimon. Yeah. And yet somehow when Gaomon loses her tail ring, it just never comes back. Because Digimon. Man, I still can't believe that it's like, you see the Tailmon come off, and it's like under the hoof of a freaking horse, and you see its leg go down, and it sounds like there's a weird crushing noise, and it just stomped it into the dirt and didn't break it. That's so dumb, holy crap. But yeah, Angemon's pretty cool. So here's the screwed up part of this, right?
Yeah.
You wanna know what's really messed up?
What?
Because we previously saw an Ice Devimon that kept up with everyone's, like, just beast spirits and stuff just without any problems. There's a real possibility that this Angemon might also be at least ultimate level in strength. This might be the most powerful Angemon that's ever existed, and all these kids could be super right to be really arrogant around him.
Nah, these kids are brats.
Yeah. Yeah, and get them evolving with stuff like the ones that get weapons are weird. It's also weird when it happens in Pokemon. Yeah. I feel like it makes more sense in Digimon, though, at least, because at least it's like, you know, digital world logic and stuff. With Pokemon, it's like, oh, you just evolve and you're just holding a big square piece of wood now. Where did that come from?
Yeah, with Digimon, it's like, okay, we're adding weapon data to the Digimon.
We add accessory, and you gain gun. Oh, man. You just evolve into a champion, and now you've just got a sword. Awesome. And you can just do stuff with it. Done. Easy. That's it's like, Pokemon designs are weird because, like, it's like, the idea of a Pokemon having a weapon or whatever isn't inherently, like, bad or weird or whatever. It's just the fact that it's like, there's been so many decades of just knowledge of like, hey, this is what Pokemon are. This is what Pokemon design is and what it's supposed to feel like. And when they try and like move from conventions, it always feels really weird and off-putting. You know? Like when they make Pokemon like way too humanoid and you just look at it, it's like, oh, this feels wrong. This doesn't feel right, but it's like if it was like fan art or whatever, it would be like, alright, that's cool, who cares?
That doesn't really bother me.
And it's a whole weird thing. I've definitely heard a lot of people like talk about it recently with the recent like designs and stuff, and the worry that the new Pokemon are going to stand up on their hind legs. Like, there's a genuine concern that the new starters will be bipedal and become too humanoid again.
That's just the fear for Sprigatito, because every time there's a cat Pokemon, it turns into like a two-legged Digimon. Pokemon. Blech.
And I feel like I've heard that with a lot of stuff, because it's like, a lot of people really didn't like Inteleon. They really didn't like that Inteleon is just a dude. He's just a lizard man with gloves and just does poses and does like finger points and stuff with his human hands. They've been pushing the furry agenda. Heck yeah, they have.
I mean, that's kind of the whole like design philosophy behind Inteleon. He's got literal finger guns.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like, Not that that's inherently wrong, but feels weird for a Pokemon to do that.
I'm not crazy about it. I like its Gigantamax form where, like, I think its tail turns into like a big tower and it's just like a sniping tower.
I don't think I've actually seen that. I've kind of fallen off of it since Gen 8 for obvious reasons.
Hold on. Teleon Gigantamax. Yeah, there it is.
Oh boy. Meanwhile, in Digimon, it's like, hey, Angemon is just a dude with a staff and angel rings, and he rocks. He's awesome.
Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, it worked.
Oh, whoa. That's a
You might have
scale?
I think it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, because I don't see it. Whoa, alright, that's nutty. Man, I
And
like...
he's just on top of the platform with a sniper rifle.
I'd be so much more into these Gigantamax forms if they didn't replace previous evolution gimmicks.
Yeah,
like, if this wasn't what we're getting instead of Mega Evolution, some of these designs are just, like, so weird and out there and just crazy. Like, it should totally just be like, oh, you get one Dynamax or, like, You get one Gigantamax or one Mega Pokemon on your team, and you can only have one of them. And you get, like, that one Ace, and we're just adding more gimmicks and adding more Ace Pokemon.
As far as designs go for, like, Gigantamax and stuff, this one makes sense. Like, Mega Evolution, this wouldn't work. Because Mega Evolution, you're supposed to, like, the Pokemon is still supposed to be able to fight, it's just in a new form. This works for Gigantamax because Inteleon he's big, he's got a sniper rifle, his intention is not to move.
Yes.
He's just bigger and stronger now.
Megas are fine, they just need to be bounce power. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I have no idea just why Mega Rayquaza.
700 something base stats.
And it doesn't even use his held item slot.
No, it does not. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Insane base stats on a legendary, and you give him a choice band, so he just automatically has, like, freaking just 50% more base attack and can just keep going. Like, no wonder things got, like, so out of hand that the top Pokemon tournament, every single person was using the same team. Every single person in top 8s was using the exact same team of Pokemon, and they're all playing the exact same role, because it was just the only optimal strategy.
Yeah. Rayquaza's not, Mega Rayquaza is not just 700. He's almost 800. He's at 780.
Jesus. How do you even... Like, the only way to beat that is to have another Mega Rayquaza, because then it's Dragon versus Dragon, which means you have a chance to take him out.
Yeah, but if you're fighting with a Mega Rayquaza, it's like choice band, extreme speed. Nothing can catch you.
Yes. Just easy. Just done. The only thing that can stop you is, again, another Mega Rayquaza. It's all based on speed then, yeah. Like, you get your Rayquaza out, they have their Rayquaza, it's like, oh, there's a 50-50 chance who's gonna live or die. And that's the moment where they try to switch out to something else, and you get your Dragon Dance off. Just need one extra point. Jeez, it's so dumb, holy crap. Like, can you imagine if there was a fine game tournament where all the people in the top 8 were playing the exact same character because it was the only viable character in competitive play?
Who would do that?
How would that even happen? That'd be crazy.
Yeah. Did we
You
make
would...
this? Did we make the same exact joke last week?
Yes. And it has not gone less crazy with time. I don't think I'll ever be, like, over-complaining about how goofy it is that, like, friggin' Smash Brothers had the Meta Knight meta, and then the next game came out and they accidentally did it again. They just did it again with a new character. They just completely overlooked it and just didn't give a crap. New Gook is dumb, but it's fine that types don't matter anymore, so let's just go crazy, I guess. Yeah, oh boy, are you ready to get a Pokemon that has a really big, weird hat, and they change types or whatever?
Terrestrializing is the dumbest one so far.
I couldn't care less. As soon as I found out what it was, I was like, oh, well, that's lame.
Yeah, it's less creative Mega Evolution.
We couldn't even keep Gigantamax. We couldn't even keep big Pokemon going. What the heck?
Honestly, this is closer to Ultimax. This is closer to Dynamax than it is Mega Evolution.
Yeah. Please stop with the gimmicks. Here's the thing. Instead of stopping with the gimmicks, they should just put all the gimmicks into one game and then be like, oh, you just get everything. And then everyone would be like, oh, heck yeah, that's rad. You get everything, but you only get one use of the thing per team. You only get to use one, but you gotta make your pick, right?
Yeah.
I want to see the matchup where Mega Kangaskhan gets to fight Gigantamax Inteleon and just fake him out with the hardest damage possible. You Gigantamax, and then we stall you for one of your 3 turns. What do you do now? But conversely, you also have like 1 billion health, so it kind of evens out suddenly. I want to see what the result of that would be.
Mega Evolution gets to stay Mega unless you knock it out, though.
Yeah, but then you just, fudge the numbers on Gigantamax and it's a bigger boost, so what now?
No. Problem is, Nintendo's never gonna do it, so whatever.
I'll say that's giving the anime universe some spice. It's great to see Ash's Mega Lucario against a Dynamax mod. Yeah, can't do that in games. Wait, does he still have the freaking Mega Lucario in, like, the weird Ash Greninja form?
Hate the stupid Ash Greninja thing.
Remember that time Ash bio-merged with his frog?
No, because he didn't. He's, like, he doesn't fuse with him.
Wait, he doesn't? I thought he did.
Not that I know of.
Because why does it look like him then?
Because they have a very close bond.
Oh, that's extra dumb. You just, like... freaking, I'm trying to, like, imagine. I'm just imagining, like, Gary has a close bond with his Greninja, and he just sends it out and does the thing, and it just forms, like, his spiky anime hair and, like, a shirt. It just forms the cheer squad behind it, and that's its power. It just has a frog cheerleader squad.
Sorry, who? What?
Gary gets a Greninja with a unique Mega form, and every time it attacks, it forms a cheerleader squad of frogs that cheer it on and boost its stats.
Yeah, Yeah, I just looked at the clip. Like, there is a moment where it looks like they're fusing together, but it's just like, nah, their spirits are one or some crap. Because
Oh, that's
immediately
lame.
after the fusion scene, Ash is standing behind him.
This feels like it's further than biomerging has ever gone without actually biomerging.
Extra Ninja
Man.
is like the ugliest, dumbest looking thing. Like, I hate it.
So yeah, this episode, a bunch of bullies are mean to Tomoki.
Yeah, they're like, our main cast doesn't reveal that they can transform into Digimon, and the snot-nosed kids are like, oh, you better leave. We have a Digimon partner. You don't. How do you think you could tell us what to do? And then
Yeah.
Sagittariusmon brings a whole bunch of Centauramon to get revenge, and they evolve and show that they're like super powerful. Yeah, you kids are dumb.
Yeah. I feel like the only way to explain how I felt about this episode is to just like tell you straight up the name for this image I put in like the thing for like moving the image over and stuff is Digimon Frontier 41 or 40, yeah. Digimon Frontier 40 shit kids.
To be fair, it's these two kids in particular.
Yeah, the ones to the center and left specifically.
The big one and the one with the glasses. The other two are kind of jerks, but the big kid and the glasses kid are like the real like terrible. Ugh, I hate them.
You cannot convince me that this was intended to be the plot from episode 1. From the writing of that first episode, they were intended to always have, like, pushed Tomoki into the train, laughing as he got sent away on the train. And one of them's like, wait, hurry up, we gotta get on. And they run over and make it to a second train in the station. And just, like, ride off to a different terminal.
Nah, I believe that they planned this from the beginning.
I don't buy it for a second. Because it's like, there's nothing in the scene that indicates them pushing Tomoki on and then laughing at him for, like, you know, getting stuck on a train would immediately lead to them jumping onto a different train.
I'm a short, like, this anime is a season long. Like, as short as this series is, I don't doubt for a second they wrote everything out. Like, the idea that they were winging it episode to episode is
Oh, I'm not suggesting
absurd.
that for a second. I'm suggesting they wrote the first episode, and they wrote a bunch of the other episodes, and while writing episodes, they're like, crap, what do we do for this one? Let's bring those bullies back, and then they just, like, just either didn't have time or didn't, like, bother to change it so it made more sense. Because screw it, we finished the first episode. It's like done. We got the draft ready and approved. Who cares? Just do it. I would not be surprised if this season specifically this season, had like production issues and like weird conflicts in the writer's room that led to inconsistencies. I'd also not be surprised if that's the case for O2 as well. But that's a bit more of an extreme scenario. Yeah, they don't play everything from the start, actually. A lot of these toy-centric shows have, like, certain things planned, but most of the time it's on the fly. Oh, alright. So, yeah, they may have actually been, like, in production of the show by the time they were writing the later episodes, you mean? Yeah, I feel like that makes sense. Here's the thing. I know this actually does happen sometimes. There's, like, an example I found at some point where it's like, I don't know if you've heard of a show called Review Starlight. Probably not. Point is, it's like a big musical show where they do the fights through musicals, and it's really fun and cool, but also kind of, like, weak overall as, like, you know, an actual story. and there's like a really like notable interview where like as the show was airing, one of the people was like, being interviewed about like the process and stuff, and she was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to like cut the interview short. I need to like write the lyrics for the new episode right now in like 30 minutes, or we're not gonna be able to make it, like as the thing was, airing and being animated and stuff. And it was like one of those ones where you just look at it's like, oh wow, this production was a nightmare, holy crap. But it's also like the fact that they weren't like immediately concerned kind of does show that it's like not that crazy of an occurrence.
Mm.
Yeah, it's like actually like one of the big songs in that show is like the big like penultimate song where they finally like fight the big rivals and like finally beat them and stuff. Was like actually pre-made for like an album or something for like like a actual like release, and they're going to create a new one and they just straight up did not have time, so they're like, all right, we have this thing, Ray, we just have to like take this and just shove it in, we just have to just use it and go, just like rewrite the lyrics a little, just make it a duet, screw it, it's fine, it's good enough. Yeah, it has with a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh shows. Yeah, often had plot points that were never brought never brought again after being set up. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with me today. Yu-Gi-Oh 5D's even more extreme example is when the main villain group was changed from a cult to time travelers because some VAs playing those roles were found to be in an actual cult.
Mm.
Wait, excuse me? Okay. Interesting. That did not go anywhere I was expecting it to go. That's wild. Look up. Yeah, I probably should. That's a real crazy story. Yeah, alright. Also, holy crap, the review Starlight movie is fantastic, but holy crap, if you're not to the show, it's going to mean nothing. Jeez. But yeah. Freaking Digimon. So yeah, the dumb bully kids go on their dumb bully train, and then they show up, and they're just very confusedly like, oh yeah, so here's what happened. We came to the digital world, and we landed at the forest terminal, and then Ophinemon just told us to get back on the train and leave, and I have no idea when this takes place. And they're like, yeah, so most of the kids just left and we stuck behind and Angemon protected us. And we see Angemon just hiding in a tree, just watching them like, oh, I guess I should protect them now. Which implies that, like, they got on the train after being called there to go to the digital world. They went to the destination with the train. The train stopped, took them to the digital world. And immediately Ophinemon was like, oh yeah, I've already got 8 kids, you're no longer needed. And most of them just got back on the train and were just let go.
I mean, it probably. I think Ophinemon probably waited until they found all the beast spirits and such before they sent everyone else back.
You assume that? I have no way to confirm it. 'Cause, like, by the time they haul the beast spirits, they're already on the way to Forest Terminal. And clearly it's like these kids aren't spreading out, like, exploring or something. You just see them at the platform to the station, and they just get back on the train and go. So, like, did they just hang around at the train station for, like, a few weeks or something? Or, like, how did this work out exactly?
I don't know.
It
Also,
seems like the way it plays, it literally seems like they just came on the train and Ophiamon was like, okay, now get lost, and they just left.
and that's why I think it wasn't immediate, because that's silly.
It sure is. It sure would be silly for this episode to do some stuff that doesn't make a lot of logical sense.
By the way, we learned that the kids have been here for half a year.
Yes, that also seems kind of important, because that's quite a while. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, but man, the second half is wild, and Nazca is the first half. They're able to recover. Jeez. Never forget, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX just has a point where the gang duels a literal monkey. They literally duel a freaking monkey with, like, a robot headset and, like, gear and stuff. And it's a genetically engineered lab monkey that was specifically created to be super smart and specifically play children's card games. And they gave it a deck that's just all monkey cards by complete chance. They're literally like, oh yeah, this would be fun. And, like, you can tell that, like, there's no way he chose these for himself. Because why would he? He is a being bred of pure logic and science. But would be way less fitting if this monkey with, like, the cyber helmet was playing, like, I don't know, like a Dark Magician deck or some crap. It wasn't even meta back in GX. I don't know, like, Cyber Dragon, friggin', like, Connectroids. Whatever, one of those. If this monkey just shows up and is just playing 6 samurai cards. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, the show with the absolutely flawless MC, Judai Yuki. This shit was definitely made on the fly. Never forget, there is a straight tennis deck, and we still do not have the cards for it. We never got Double Fault, I believe. And yet, the modern meta has introduced a card that is literally just straight up the trolley problem. It's like, you play the card, and then you pick one of your opponent's monsters, and if they have 2 or more other monsters, then your opponent has to choose between destroying the card you pick, or every other monster on their side of the field. And it's literally just a trolley problem. It once, but still almost A episodes of no real plot. Oh yeah. I'm fine with, like, no real plot happening in Yu-Gi-Oh! As long as the dumb hijinks going on are entertaining. Well, I feel like even it's like you had stuff like, the Chaz or like, like Zane or War to kind of like, bide things over. Like, you still had more like serious side characters who would pop back up every now and then, but they just wouldn't be that consistently used. So it's like, I feel like that's fair enough. That's weirdly more than we got with Ghost Games so far. We have yet to meet that Digimon that is the Ghost Game equivalent of the Chaz. A character who, like, just... Oh, God. Never forget, there's just, like, a point in the dub where the Chaz is, like, brought into a cult of people who worship light, and they all wear, like, white outfits. And he literally gets unbrainwashed and just throws aside his white coat to put on the black one. And he's like, no, I prefer black over white because dirt doesn't show as easily. Chaz it up. Man, I don't know when. It would be really dumb to do Yu-Gi-Oh! At some point just for the sake of it. just purely for the sake of all the dumb shenanigans. I don't know, maybe one day. Maybe after we do bots, because of course I need to like go and give that like an actual watch through. You go and be a commitment. Oh yeah, it would. Man, that'd be a lot. I don't know, maybe if we catch up with literally all the Digimon. We just catch up with literally all the Digimon and we do the stuff we want to do. It's like, oh hey, yo, what? Screw it, let's do some Yu-Gi-Oh! And just make fun of how dumb this is. And just have a time with it. Oh man.
I don't know how much I want to commit to a Yu-Gi-Oh thing.
That's fair, honestly. I feel like there's other places we could go. There's like... Man, if we get through all of Digimon and all of Mabbots, like, what would even be next on the block? Like, Zoids?
I don't know.
Would be like... Because we can't do Pokemon. That's just an endless string of content. That's just like, Pokemon just goes on forever. Like, there's no way. We'd be on Yu-Gi-Oh! Show 11 by then. Oh yeah, jeez. Like, do we just start doing, like, modern anime stuff that we just think is, like, interesting? I don't know, we could. We'd do something with it, yeah. Friggin', like, I don't know, man. Because, like, we could go JoJo's, but we both, like, seen, like, all of JoJo's, so I don't know how much we'd actually get out of that.
Yeah, and you're also doing a JoJo thing for your other deal.
Yeah, but by the time we get around to that, it's going to be so far in the future, you know? It's going to be so far out there. But yeah, crap, we've barely talked out this episode, and I feel like we've missed nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
Freaking...
Angemon dies.
Yeah. Wait, no he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
Wait, yeah, he does. Yeah, you're right.
Angemon rushes Dynasmon, or... Yeah, I think he rushes he rushes the Royal Knights, and I think Dynasmon, like, slashes him and kills him in one hit.
Crap, yeah, you're right. Because I was thinking of, like, oh yeah, he fights all the Centauramon, and then he wins. It's like, oh man, isn't Angemon the coolest? And Dynasmon takes out the strongest Angemon ever, you know. We'll never know it, but he actually had the strength of a Mega, and Dynasmon is just that strong. Just world's strongest Angemon, still no match for a Royal Knight.
Yeah. Dynasmon kills him in one hit, and they kidnap the kids for some reason.
Yeah, it's like next time we have to save Tomoki, who's just with the others for some reason, and he's just at a beanstalk, and we have to stop them from stealing the beanstalk. It's a war episode, really. Why are we doing this? Good question. Why are we doing Digimon Frontier? We could probably just cut to the end of this series and save ourselves a lot of time and headache.
Man. We gotta watch the Gutsumon episode, though.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess we'll just keep doing all of them then. I'd rather episodes of just consistent fighting. Jeez, just constant fighting. Yeah, it's like... It's not even like... I guess this is the way they do new things with it, but it's like, who cares? Who cares about these weird bully kids? And they're like, oh man, Tomoki, you sure are weak. Not like us and our one Angemon. And the ours are like, oh, so you have Digivices? And they're like, what's a Digivice?
Yeah.
I feel like yeah.
Tomoki, I bet you only got this far by hiding behind other people. Say the kids who have been hiding behind Angemon.
Yeah, that's the thing that really gets me out this episode. It's like, they keep being like, oh man, Tomoki, you're so weak and da-da-da. And meanwhile, it's like, They're not even using their Digivice to power Angemon up. They're not even being like batteries for the Digimon. They're not even tamers. They're literally just kids with a Digimon bodyguard. They're just walking around starting fights as Angemon has to clean up their mess every time. They're such hypocrites, holy crap.
Yeah.
They're like, man, you're so weak, Tomoki, unlike us who have to rely on an unrelated Digimon for help while providing nothing of value. Man, you sure are weak as a human boy in this world full of, like, insane monsters with guns and, like, armors and robots.
Yeah. Maybe Angemon is on the verge of evolving to Magna Angemon from protecting the kids.
Angemon just kills so much stuff that he just evolves, and he's like, I've gained so much power, but what price? And you see a single tear just roll down his face. It's like, it's too late for me to go back now. I must be the butcher of Digimon. And meanwhile, the boys are like, ah, good, Angemon, do it, kill them all. Kill them all, Magna Angemon. I need this solo series. This series of Angemon just getting sucked into the sunk cost fallacy and just losing himself in the process. It's like, he evolves into Magna Angemon, and like the mega form has to be like, you know, like one of the demon lords or something. Like, he becomes
Devimon.
He turns into like Daemon or like Creepymon or whatever. He becomes like just a straight up monster, and the kids are like, oh, what have we done? And he has to keep fighting and like fight the angels trying to stop him. Oh man, we still do the dark form of his mega. Oh yeah, actually no, yeah, we have that. We just get like Dark Seraphimon. Duh, yeah, we have the form that Mercurymon makes.
Yeah.
Except it makes less sense because Mercurymon isn't here, but it's Digimon, so we all just kind of like, yo, just look the other way, and we're like, yeah, that's weird, but whatever, why not?
Yeah, I'm sure Dark Seraphimon just exists in canon now, independent of Mercurymon.
Yeah.
Pretty sure there's also a Dark Ophanimon.
We'll call it Digimon Rebellion. God, it's just, he has to become the demon that goes against the angelic order. Like, just like the foul episode is he's fighting like just 8 like Angemon at once, and they're slowly like pinning him down with arrows and just like, yo, just sealing him away. They send him to the dark area. I guess. I'd more like how Lore, like a fallen Angemon, becomes Lilithmon. Yeah. Or Ophanimon fall down mode. Either or. Which, weirdly enough, looking back at design, it also somehow managed to get the 4 faces in, because they're like on the pauldrons now, so that's cool. Yeah, there's like the 2 on the pauldrons, and there's the helmet and the human face, and it's like, oh yeah, they did the thing. Man, we like seal away freaking like Daemon, and we get the backstory to the dark area, and he makes all the demon Digimon a thing, and we have the big war. You know what? Better name for this series: Digimon Revelations. Oh man, is there anything else we really want to talk about this episode?
No, not really.
Oh boy, these sure were some lame shit kids.